Pleasant good morning all to the media. And first, let me thank Minister Caesar from St. Vincent for hosting us here at the special meeting of the Ministers of Agriculture for the OECS. Indeed, food and nutrition insecurity is top priority for the Ministers of Agriculture of the OECS. We have had detailed and productive discussion over the course of yesterday and today. Yesterday, we delved into each of our government agricultural strategies and plans to identify the commonalities and areas where we can work together and support each other. Ministers have demonstrated real commitment to working together, and the OECS Food and Agricultural System Development Strategy provides an effective mechanism for fostering that cooperation. We want to be ambitious, and we have made decisions which will put us in the trajectory to deepening our cooperation, including the areas of marketing, technical expertise, production, research and development. Just to highlight a few areas which came out from the discussions yesterday, water was a prominent issue in the discussions, and it was agreed that OECS research and identify effective system for water management. Food safety was also raised as a critical issue, and it was recommended that there be adoption of international quality standards. We also saw the need to develop an OECS food standard certification system benchmark against the global gap standards. And Minister also recognized the vast wealth of expertise we have in the region and agreed that this is an area where there can be immediate cooperation across the region in establishing an OECS grid, a cadre of agricultural experts. There's a strong recognition of the important role of the private sector. Today, we had a very enlightening panel discussion with panelists representing key areas of the private sector, from export to risk management. It demonstrates the extent to which we value private sector involvement in delivering the FAST strategy. I would say there's an urgency among ministers to get things moving on the ground as we recognize the indications at the household level of the decisions we make today. With these brief words, I'm going to pass on to the Director General to give us some brief remarks.
Thank you very much, Chair. Like you, I want to express our deepest appreciation for the extraordinary hospitality of Minister Saboto Caesar and his team, and to the government of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. This meeting has been perhaps the most consequential of the meetings that we have ever held of Ministers of Agriculture, because what has come out of this is not just a consolidation of the plan for agricultural transformation, but the determination of an actual roadmap as to how we get there. For me, the greatest significance of these meetings this week was the synergy among ministers themselves. As you heard, the expression of political will was unambiguous and unequivocal. Secondly, the determination that we as a group would would actually set up I'm trying to find the best word, a catalog of expertise in the OECS, so that in every domain of agriculture, we know who are the best experts in the member states of the OECS, and to have this grouping available to serve other member states where they are deficient in expertise. So effectively, what is happening here is an alignment of the ministries of education, sharing expertise, agricultural expertise, so that we can all be moving at the same pace. The third significant thing is the fact that we see an acceleration of bilateral relations between the member states, with St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Dominica, Antigua and Barbuda. Virtually all member states have either signed or are in discussion on the signing of memorandum of agreement and cooperation for the active interchange. And this is not a words thing, it is the actual interchange of personnel, of material, planting stock, technical support to each other, So what we are seeing is a real holding of hands between the ministries of agriculture that we think will really help to move agriculture forward in the region. And lastly, the cooperation of our key strategic partners, IECA and FAO, has been instrumental in this. I want to give thanks to them for their contribution. In fact, the FAST strategy itself was drafted through the instrumentality of IECA using a Caribbean expert, Dr. Deep Ford, and other experts to design this thing. So we are extremely positive about the future. I want to also say that there is a strong recognition among ministers that the work that has to be done, as the acronym says, it has to be done fast. Fast has to be executed very fast, because we need to put in place a solid architecture that, notwithstanding whatever political currents come through the region, notwithstanding whatever geopolitical stresses we experience, the architecture is in place that will ensure that the OECS, as a grouping of the region, within the Caribbean region, is able to thrive and survive regardless of what comes. And that cannot be subject to political vacillations or changes. And so we are very happy at this meeting. The ministers have committed to meet regularly. We have a WhatsApp group of all of the ministers, so it's an active process with deep political engagement. And for me, as Director General of the OECS, what pleases me is to see that this process, this dimension, vital dimension of regional integration that touches the plates and the lives of our people in the region, is being politically led. Because it's not, many times people think regional integration is something that must be led by technocrats. Our role is to provide the solidity of design and ensure implementation. But ultimately, it is the political will that should determine the results that we achieve. And we're very grateful that we have a cadre of ministers who are as deeply committed to this as we are. Thank you very much.